What's good with y'all? You know what it is. It's your boy, the chosen one. God's chosen son. It's Monday, a beautiful Monday. And I just wanted to come out here and chop it up with y'all, man. Break it down. The question of today: do women love conditionally? Ooh-wee. Alrighty. First, let me put out a disclaimer and say this don't apply to all women. If the shoe fit, the shoe fit. But I want to get into it and I want to break down, man, how a lot of these relationships usually be going when you get, intimate with somebody, and how we should be carrying ourselves when it comes to relationships and whatnot, and the real depth of it, because nowadays people don't take it as serious. We hear a lot of, back and forth. It's a lot of division. It's a lot of saying which side should do and which side shouldn't do what. We gonna break it down, bro, according to God, bro, and what the scriptures say, man. So the $1 million question: do women love conditionally? Now, we live in a society, bro. We live in a time frame as men where it's just a lot of division. It's a lot of backbiting, envy, hatred, and all of this type of stuff. And we also live in a fallen world, given over to Satan, where people is they going after their own desires rather than what God desire for them, right? So, man, I know a lot of the fellas watching this video can attest to being in a relationship or a situation with a woman where you done put a lot into it. You done pour it into her. And I'm not meaning on no financial stuff, but I mean like, you may have met a woman at a point in your life where you was doing well and you was pouring into her wisdom, obviously the financial stuff and whatnot, protection and all of this type of stuff. And maybe you got to a point in that relationship where you just seen, you discern like you're not reciprocating, or simply that person just forgot about it. Just seemed like that person forgot about all the things that you did to help them, when you was in a position, in position, right? You got into a relationship with this person, you was with them for a while, things went south, right? Now, and then, let me backtrack. Hold on, let me chill before I go on. Collect the thoughts. Anyway, okay, so maybe, like how life worked for us, it's ups and downs, right? The Most High giveth, the Most High taketh, right? It's opportunities that come when one door shut, another door open. So for us men, a lot of the time, especially getting it up out the mud, especially when we aspire to be good men, we fall on hard times sometimes. That's how God chastens us. That's how he makes us ready for the kings, and to take dominion over, the land and the things that, he promised us, right? So you may have fallen on some hard times, bills start piling up, maybe you got fired for your job. It's a transition period. And now you notice that woman don't look at you the same that you was doing for her. Now you notice, like, she's starting to act a bit different. And in the worst cases, some dudes even get cheated on. That woman turned adulterous on them. And it'd be kind of hard to go through that, because you're like, man, like, dang, I gave all of that, all of my attention, all of my time, all of my wisdom, I poured into you. Like, obviously don't mean as a man you're not going to have your own wrongs and your own things you're working on, but we all are, right? Therefore, it say, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Pluck the mote out of your own eye before your brethren. So, we obviously gotta take up and take accountability for the wrongs we put in, with people we deal with. But if you've been through that situation, which I'm pretty sure a lot of men have, that's what we call conditional love. It was only love. It was only real love and real admiration, real obsession with you when you was able to, help her out. When you was able to, do for her, when you was able to, pay her bills, or when you was able to comfort her, and, you was the man in people's lives, and you was making money moves, and they was falling through. But when stuff start, when we get brought back down to earth, because God wants us to have humility and be humble, now that's when the pride from that woman show. That's when everything you doing is wrong. That's when, stuff, the wrongdoings you did from your past is getting brought back up with that woman. Even though you apologized, even though you really feel genuinely bad about that stuff, but it's never mentioned on the things that was done for that person. Now, me personally, I'm a person, I don't like to sit up here and say what I did for people, right? I just do for people. I do what I can when I can. I don't even be remembering half the time. And I bet a lot of people like that out there is like that. Like, I don't hold, the charity I give to people over them. So, yeah, man, that's conditional love, bro. And if you dealing with a woman like that, bro, you got to be able to peep the signs, man. You got to be able to understand. The Bible say, a friend is gained through adversity, right? So basically, obviously we could be like, well, that's my girlfriend, da 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 da. You spending time together like that, if she can't go with you through some adverse times, do she really need to be there? And man, when you do walk away from that person, when you finally decide to walk away from that person, who love is conditional, man. One thing I want to stress, man, don't let them taint your heart. Don't let them, make you harbor resentment, and all of these types of things. Don't feel the same way, that they feel about you, and get to hating them and all of this type of stuff, man. Just be out, love them from a distance. God bless you, man. It's just that simple, because you don't want to let a lot of these women out here corrupt your heart and make your heart wax cold. It say the love of many, the Bible said the love of many has waxed cold. So that's the last thing that we want to do, right? It's gonna be hard times, it's gonna be tribulations. Sometimes you gotta walk through the fire, bro, in order to understand. Like, God sometimes he'll give us revelation and it'll just hit us. Sometimes we gotta go through it, man. So with that being said, I just wanted to let that be known for the men out there, man. Keep your heart, have a heart of gold, keep your kindness, and be upright and righteous. Now, we need to talk about roles, right? I want to talk about roles and whatnot. And the women that's watching this video, you can learn a lot and understand men by just, paying attention and listening. But so in the book of Genesis, it's told that, man, we're going to be cursed to work the fields, right? We're going to have to till the earth up throughout all of our days. And as men, what we go through, people don't really care about us in the real world. If you going bankrupt, if you about to be without a crib, nobody really care. Like, you just gotta man up, get a job, nigga. Real talk. So, that's our plight. We supposed to be the protectors, the providers, the workers, while at the same time, most of mankind don't even have empathy for us, even our own, right? And for woman, her curse was, childbirth, menstrual cycle, all of this type of stuff, right? She was gonna go through all of these types of things. Now, men, fellas, we talked about this in the last video. I really need people watching to understand, bro. God gave you dominion. He said the head of Christ is him. He said the head of the woman is you, and our head as men is Christ. So he gave us dominion. He gave us dominion over the animals. He gave us dominion on how things should be ran with the women and the children. We supposed to be teaching them. It's not supposed to be no usurping, no authority over no men, no nothing, right? He blessed us with that power, right? So to where even when things are desolate in your household, it's a bad financial situation or anything, like, he's going to bless you if you humble enough to go ask him for a way out, bro. We rich in spirit, bro. We don't think of the things of vanity and things of the world, bro. Money is gonna come. Cars is gonna come. Cribs is gonna come. if you do what you supposed to do, bro, they gonna come. And that's why, you hear the saying, focus on yourself rather than women, right? Because when you focus on yourself, inevitably women come. But let's talk about what a healthy relationship's supposed to look like. Now, women, I'm gonna talk to y'all directly here. Now, bro, as men, we carry a lot. That's known. A lot of men don't even like to talk about what they carrying. They just like to kind of just go through the motions and go through it. But it's not good. The Bible say it's not good that man be alone. It's not good that any of us be alone. We supposed to have brotherhood, camaraderie, a woman there or people there in our corner that we can, confess our sins to, confess, our grievances to. So it's not as much burden on our hearts. It's multiple people. It's 8 billion people in the world for a reason. But as a woman, you supposed to be a helpmate. You supposed to be there through thick and thin. If you're not gonna do that, you don't need to be in a relationship, bro. Because the point of a relationship should be leading to marriage. You don't need to be in a relationship, bro. You're not mature enough for that. I don't know who need to hear this. And as men, if you can't focus on your purpose, you're not mature enough for a relationship. You don't need one. But your wife, your woman, whatever, your concubine, we should be able to confide in you guys. It's a lot of men out here, they mentalities is, well, I'm not gonna be vulnerable in front of my woman because, she could use that against me, or she gonna look differently she gonna look at me as a man. She not gonna see me as a man no more. She gonna look at me differently, all of this type of stuff. And that's a shame. That's a shame, bro. It's a shame we live in a time period where that's the mentality of people, but understanding that a lot of people are vain. So if you are one of them women, you with your mans through the thick and thin, you just with them, you rolling with them, you trust in them, God bless you. 1,000%. God bless you, because we need more women like that. We need more women when things getting heavy and I feel like I'm about to crash out, at the end of the day, as a man, you will rock, but that don't mean we not humans. That don't mean we can just carry the weight of all the burdens of the world, and all the burdens and guilt and grief within ourselves. We need help carrying it. So, if you a woman out there and you want to know how to better your relationship, let that man be open. Don't judge him for being open, no matter what he going through. You chose to be with him. So remember that. That's what you responsible for. We got to start holding ourselves accountable for the things that we do. And men, my advice to y'all, man, start opening up a little bit more, man. Stop trying to tackle everything on your own, bro. And have more discernment and be patient when looking for, a female prospect in order to build with, because the whole point of being in a relationship is supposed to be so we can build each other up. Now, ending off, do women love conditionally? Based off the book of Proverbs, a vain woman do. The modern woman do. The worldly woman does. But at the end of the day, it is women out here, who really care, who really is looking for companionship and to build and to be led and to learn from somebody and to have a head over them that's giving them wisdom. Men, do your best to be that head. Do your best to just stack up on your manhood, your wisdom, and learn and get into that word. With that being said, it's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son, signing out.